Hi everybody, Kirk Hamilton from Kotaku here with my Oculus Rift on my forehead, ready to look at another really cool game. This is a game called House of the Dying Sun that you may have heard about in the last couple of days. It's been on Steam Early Access. I've been playing it for a couple of days and I really like it a lot. It's on VR. You can play in Steam VR. I'm using an Oculus Rift. You could also play on a Vive. You can also just play on your screen, and it is pretty fun there too. This is a really, really cool game that I want to show you. So let's get right to it. This game is made by a single guy, more or less. A dude named Mike Tipple, who used to work at Bungie. He worked on Halo games like Reach and ODST, and it's kind of got that Bungie feel to a little bit of it. He's been working on this game for a very long time, and it's really shocking that one person is responsible for so much of this game. So it's a starfighting game. It used to be called Enemy Starfighter, which was a neat name, but I like House of the Dying Sun too. So let's just get right into it, and I can kind of show you how it works. This is an early mission that I've beaten on a couple of difficulties. Let's try it on the second difficulty and see how that goes. And we can go into some loadout stuff later. You can customize your loadout and what kind of perks and abilities your various ships have. But let's just get going so you can see this game in action. I'm playing with a controller. It does not yet have full stick support, so I don't use my HOTAS setup. Though I'm assuming this game is in early access, so I'm assuming that they'll add it. Now the first thing I did here is I zoomed out to this sort of tactical view, which you can see if I do that, it pauses the game now, and I can sort of look at what I'm going up against. This looks pretty. You can see I can look around in VR. It's pretty cool that it lets you do this. It actually looks a little bit like a homeworld game. I can kind of zoom in here and look at my guy. That's my ship. And I can come over here and see who I'm fighting against. It's really pretty cool. I don't go into this screen enough, but it's really neat that you can do this at any point and pull out and see what's going on. So I'll try to do that from time to time during this mission. So my goal is really just to kill this guy. The idea behind this game, the lore is really minimal. You're like the Emperor's executor, and the Emperor was betrayed and assassinated, so you're hunting down the traitor lords and fighting them. One thing I kind of like is that you're red and the bad guys are blue, so the idea is you're sort of the bad guy. So let's just get into it. So right off the bat, you can probably hear the sound here. If you watched the Battlestar Galactica remake, the dogfighting in this game has a lot in common with the dogfighting in Battlestar. There's a kind of muted sounds, and you can actually do a thing called a drift, which I'm doing now, where you skate by on your momentum, but cut your thrusters, which is a really, really cool move. Wow, this guy's taking shots at me. I'm taking fire. So let me just focus for a little bit and try and take this dude out. One nice thing about this game is that the HUD is really scannable in VR. Who's shooting at me? You're going down. Come here. Got him. So it's very easy to keep track of what's going on, which is sometimes an issue that I have with Elite Dangerous, which is definitely one of the two big games that a lot of people are going to be comparing this game to. I'm going to switch to my heavy guns here. Alright, buddy. Oh, nuked him! You're done. Alright. So you can see there a flagship is incoming. I've got 16 seconds. Those flagships will just wreck you. So you really just kind of want to jump to safety before they get there. This gets pretty hairy in some later missions when you're under fire and you barely make it out. But you barely manage to, and you jump out under fire. You are outgunned. Well, fortunately, we're getting out of here. So that's that. You can see I did kind of achieved a lot of the different goals that I had on that mission. That's a pretty basic mission. Let's go to a slightly harder one now, and we can play through that one as well. The Cleric. This one I spent a while on this, just trying to beat this on the easiest setting last night, so we'll see what happens. So we can look a little bit here. You can see there's a whole bunch of different upgrades, different types of armor, different types of weapons, and you can only have 2 equipped at a time, which means you need to kind of carefully choose what types of fighters you have in your fleet. Right now I have 2 ships, so I could have one ship that's maybe better at taking out things with shields, and another ship that is better at maybe doing bombing runs. So if when the game gets really hard, I would imagine, I haven't quite gotten this far yet, but I would imagine that you kind of want to be jumping from ship to ship to accomplish different objectives in the middle of missions. So let's just launch and see what we do. So if you saw, I didn't really use the strategic view at all in that last mission. I just never do. I'm always so in the heat of the moment that I don't think to do it. All right, let's get this guy. So one thing here, and I'm gonna pop out to the strategic view. Was the first mission I was having trouble with, where the strategic view is actually a great deal of help, because we can zoom out a little bit. So we've got 2 fighters coming at us from here, but there's also this thing, which can really do a lot of damage if you get too close to it. And the most important thing that I missed the first couple times I played was, there's my target, and he has a repair drone, which, you know, if you've played any kind of space game, you'll probably be familiar with repair drones. I was doing a lot of damage to him, and he kept healing, and that's why. So I'm going to go ahead and give an order here. You can order your wingman to do various things. I'm going to say attack my target, and then I'm going to move in as well and take that repair drone out. Oh, actually, told him to attack the wrong target. There we go. There we go. Repair drone is done. All right, first things first, let's hit this guy with our heavy gun, since he's our only target. Tell him to attack the target. So now he's ejected. This is a kind of brutal thing you do in this game, is hunt down the guy who ejected and blow him out of the sky in his ejector pod, which is nice. Wow, that was extremely easy. Let's get out of here. So that's the gist of this game. There is not a whole lot to it, apparently. I've got about 9 missions unlocked that I've tried. I believe there are 15 in total. But as you can see, there are a lot of bonus objectives and 3 different difficulty settings for each mission. So there's kind of a lot to it if you're down to replay them and get better and better at them and take on stiffer challenges, which I've actually found is really fun. I think this game costs $20. It was on sale when it launched in early access, but it might be back up to 20 now. But even in that case, let's just take this one on. Even in that case, it's still it's a lot of fun. I found it to be a very cool middle ground between something like Elite Dangerous, which is a little more simmy and allows for a lot more different types of gameplay, and something like Eve Valkyrie, which is very arcadey and polished, but actually kind of a little too arcade-like for me. All right. So I really like this game just because it has a strategic layer and it feels a little bit more like, you know, Descent Free Space or TIE Fighter, the kind of PC space combat games that I played back when I was younger. All right, so we got to really take this guy down, huh? He has a lot of shields. All right, let's see what happens. Bam. Finish it. Come here. I'm taking fire here. Got him. Let's get the hell out of here. Probably could have gone for some secondary objectives on this one, but you know what? Let's go. All right. So that is House of the Dying Sun. Really, really fun game that channels a lot of Battlestar Galactica and a lot of sort of very good old PC space sim, space fighter games. I really recommend checking it out. If you're in VR, not in VR, it's really good in both. So yeah, give it a play.